Okay, so let's get into the recent flooding events and the devastation that took place in Texas. So I made that video about the things that had happened and the 7 year time period. And then I made a video last month saying Wailing Day is coming. And wailing is about grief, massive amounts of grief that's coming. And it is not selective in the sense that it's only going to target old people that you don't like. It is targeting areas specifically where atrocities have occurred. And there are a lot of people who are in areas who are walking around without protection. And therefore, lives are being lost. Now, this is akin to the story of put the blood over the door. Okay? So, there's more of these types of events coming. And if you just use that whole story back then of how there was an attack on an oppressed group of people, which is what's going on right now. And then you receive all of these warnings so that the attacks would stop. You see all this destruction so that the attacks would stop. And of course, the attacks did not stop until the destruction hit at the highest level. We're in that same type of cycle of energy. And I try to give you guys these stories so that you can relate and understand what you're seeing with the energy. And just as in those times, people were given things as a means of protection. I have created just such things, means of protection. So for those of you who are interested, I have those available. For everyone else, go where you may. I hope that the protection that you have over your life is enough, because this energy is just going to be explosive. The flooding, because water is the biggest current that we have. It is an electrical and a vengeful energy. Fire is the next one that's coming. So, and of course, lots of damage with the wind that's coming. But the water, more of those destruction, more fires out of nowhere coming, more wind, more wailing days, because more massive amounts of grief, massive amounts of lives lost. And most people can say, man, it's so unnecessary. Well, oppression is unnecessary. Walking in lower vibrations is unnecessary, but it happens. And it happens because the ego is in charge. And when the ego is in charge, people do things that are not for the highest good. And we see that going on. Lots of places, lots of countries, lots of events going on. And when it happens, just stop and think about what's going on in that particular place. And then you'll understand why these things are happening in that particular place. Now, you're seeing things also that one or two people are escaping, right? Why? So, hopefully, for the people who are being spared, this changes your view, your perspective, and you start operating in a higher vibration. We're all called to operate in a higher vibration. My last Word to the wise, for those who are seeing this 20 years from now, stop polluting the earth with people whose lives have been taken through some oppressed method. Those people are not resting well, and that energy is in that place, and that energy is going to cause utter destruction. 20 years from now, you guys will understand that.